All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Hang on, everybody. Here we go.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, yeah, like in Jurassic
And
Park.
thank you, Will.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
Hang on to your
Hang on to
butts.
your butts.
Samuel Jackson's
It's
like,
too bad he couldn't say like, you know,
yeah.
yeah, he couldn't say
It'd
what
have been sweet if he was just like, because he had like a cigarette in his mouth.
and
And
when that
he was like, hang on to your butts, motherfucker. That'd been sweet.
that would have been
Or,
sweet.
or he'd have just been like, hang on to your butts, motherfucker. Like super loud.
Oh shit. I think we're
Except it would
on.
have been like, motherfucker.
I don't know how many times can we cuss before YouTube like finds a way to cut us off. Like, isn't there like a rule or something?
I think as long as we don't scream anything of those kinds of
Sure.
words.
Yeah.
But nah, I think it would be cool, man. Maybe we should just see. Today's podcast.
An
Today's
entire podcast
podcast is
dedicated to swearing.
today's podcast is only 20 seconds long. Will ruined it. Local man ruins everything.
Oh,
Are we live?
I think we are live. Speaking of that, my I was having some weird issues with the after hour show last week, and so I turned a bunch of my stuff off. So if you're on
Good.
YouTube right now in the comments, there's 5, 6 watching right now. Just comment that you can hear us because I can't tell if we're coming through or not.
It'd be sweet if they couldn't hear us.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Just now.
Yeah, just now, just right now. That would be funny.
Yeah.
I had to turn off a whole bunch of my um stuff
Nice.
here.
Nice.
Oh, Peter says it sounds good, so
No, not be
we're
it.
fine. I'm just gonna leave this alone then.
Hmm.
Oh man.
Just leave it alone. Remember that? Remember that guy that was talking about Britney Spears?
Oh, yeah. That was an OG YouTuber.
Yeah.
uh do you see what's in front of me?
Yeah, it's the clear RC10.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Came in today.
Would that set you back?
They're $319. $319.
Wow.
And of course, I didn't pay that, but I'm not going to tell you guys how much I paid for it. But
that's actually a really good deal
no,
for that.
dude, it is seriously.
So it's made out of that SLA plastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's clear. So you can't really drive that car, can you?
I think you can. I read the description when it first got released, and I don't know why anybody would want to though.
No, I get that, but that was like because like years ago when they started producing the car kits and clear plastic like for advertising or
Yeah.
for like that was always the thing like everybody wanted was a
Yeah,
clear
they're
one you could
super
buy.
brittle.
But yeah, they're made out of like peanut brittle.
Yeah.
So uh they said they couldn't do it. So maybe now that clear plastic has come a long way. Or maybe it is an SLA. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, or what it's called.
Crystal Clear Collector's Edition. We got a super chat, by the way. Nick Nuthouse just dropped $10. He says, "Thanks for the great track this weekend. Now back to kids' concert." I think he's at his kids' Christmas concert.
Peter was at the track?
No, Nick Nuthouse.
Oh, Nick Nuthouse.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it doesn't really say anything about the plastic it used, but I thought I remembered it saying that this particular plastic is not the same stuff that they use for their one-offs.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. I also think, if I remember correctly, the clear parts only come in the kit. They're not selling the clear parts separately.
Oh, really?
That is, yes, I do remember that too. So like the metal shocks, the silver shocks, you can't get anywhere else. The springs, the silver chassis, none of that's going to be offered. afterwards. Again, I don't know why anybody would want to. This is just going to be a build and put on the shelf. And I have another RC10 Gold Tub that I actually do want to get running for next year's Hobby Haven stuff.
Hobby Haven stuff.
I'm going to try to get over there on a couple Wednesdays next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they race oval on those days too?
I think so. And they also have a vintage class.
Oh.
So
I have my RC10, but
as of spring.
I don't know. That thing's never been driven.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have an extra one.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. I have an extra one basically. So that was when I got it. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm going to do? We're gonna make this one go.
Yeah.
So,
you're gonna go?
Yeah, we're gonna make this one actually run, and hope I don't break it.
Yeah.
Oh man, a lot going on here. This last month. We probably won't have time to get into all of it. We kind of got to get out of here, not early, but like kind of at a regular time tonight because I don't know what to call Richard. All right, is he a producer? Margie,
He's your brother-in-law.
I know he's my brother-in-law, but Margie, would you call Richard a producer or a engineer?
I mean, he qualifies as both. I would say producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And brother-in-law.
Engineer producer.
Yeah.
I call him friend.
Yeah, we call him friend.
Yeah.
So. Hey, Margie.
Yes.
Is it possible to go into the YouTube portal and turn off the ads, or is it too late for that?
I will look.
Okay, if it's too late, we'll just deal with it, and if not, then we'll.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What kind of mattresses are we selling this week?
I've had a Granger ad come up on mine already.
Granger.
Because I bought pipe from Granger, so now I've had their ads on. I mean, it is making us money, but it does kind of interrupt. At least you can skip them.
You're making internet money?
Internet money. Not really. Not in a while.
Someday.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you talk about our oval?
What about it?
Well,
what would you like to know?
We seem to have found, thanks to Tim and thanks to Phil Palmer, we seem to have found kind of we might have found like a sweet spot for the track. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we seem to have found a way to make the track pretty good, seems like, right?
Oh yeah. It's super smooth. What was it? So what Tim does is he's like rolling the track in with a golf cart.
Yeah.
And he's like watering it like soupy water before he does it. And he's doing it in between rounds. Like he's just dousing the track with water and then going over it with the golf cart. It's making it like super smooth, and he just does it every round, and it's super consistent, and it's the way we like it.
I noticed this last weekend of racing on the 3rd, not this last weekend, but 2 weeks ago, that there wasn't any dust this time. So last time there was a lot of dust towards the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's just because like to save time, we didn't do it like the roll-in for the last round.
Mm-hmm.
We just misted the track, and it wasn't as good. Like it just kept losing grip as the night went on after that.
Okay.
But doing it the way Tim did it this time, he started an hour earlier than normal, and then rolled the track in really nice, and it turned out good.
Okay. We got the tamper back, so our tamper was acting up, and it had been acting up since like October, since the big track build I did in October. But I hung on to it because I knew I needed to do a couple things yet before the first Techno Series round, and then we finally did take it in. So we didn't have a tamper. So what I usually like to do a weekend of the oval is I'll go out there and see if there's any new holes from any drips or just from the dirt kind of getting shaped funny. And I try to fill those in, and then with the tamper and smooth it out, and then let him do whatever he needs to do the rest of the time. But I didn't get a chance to do that this time. But it looked like the watering it and then hitting it with the golf cart was the way to go.
Yeah, it definitely was. I thought it was good. I would do it again.
Yeah, I definitely think you should do it that way every time. We won't be messing with the track until January, but the next round of the Techno Series will have a relatively new version of the current layout. I'm actually looking forward to it now that I think I figured out what I want to do.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything this week because I didn't have a tamper. And if we rented one, I would have had to gone all the way down to like southwest Omaha to get it and bring it back and and I thought we'd be fine.
Yeah. He was like, I don't really feel like it.
Yeah. So anyways, how'd you do?
I actually blew out of the pole dash or the what is it? I can't remember what they call it. It's like the top 4 or the fast 4. So the top 4 in qualifying, I was TQ like into that.
Yeah.
So I started first, but I like traction rolled my car like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere. Like I don't know why I did it.
Was that the one that I was watching?
Yeah,
okay.
it was. And
that was bad luck.
So no, you're not. I won the last round, fine.
Okay. Yeah, but I wasn't down there.
And yeah, you were. Yeah, you were when I raced. You were.
Was I? Oh,
Yeah.
Man, I can't remember.
And so I ended up 4th, or I started 4th, and I won from 4th. So that was cool. But apparently TQ is done off the seeding round. So
yes, like if they're, how did I see that was done once? Is it used as a tiebreaker?
Actually, yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So I still got TQ, but
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool. I know we bailed out of here last time before we talked about oval. I felt kind of bad.
Oh, it's okay. No big deal.
Because we had so much shit to talk about, and then we got lost in the comments, and then before you know it, we were gone. And then as I was driving home, I was like, oh, we didn't talk about oval.
Yeah, gotta talk about oval.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta talk about oval. So yeah, oval is cool. I'm actually working on my sprint car right now to try to get ready for the Chili Bowl. I mounted all my tires and so doing that. So that's pretty cool. I got all my tires mounted already so far. It's a spec tire.
Chili Bowl's kind of the dirt nitro challenge of the oval world, really.
Yeah, I'd say it's more like a dirt oval worlds.
Yeah.
That's kind of what people compare it to. But it is dirt oval, so it's like yee, like
Is there gonna be a lot from Omaha going? Like are the usual suspects going down there?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a pretty good showing. Yeah. I like me, Phil Beardshire, Joe, Gooch is definitely going. He always goes. Trying to think of who else.
Is Brandon going?
He's going, but he's gonna be helping somebody else with their like full size race car.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually won't be racing.
Mm.
Oh, Tim Marks is going. He's going to race. I think Archer is going.
Craig going? Craig usually goes, right?
Oh yeah, Craig's going. I don't know from like his crew who's going. So that'll be cool. I think that there'll be a good showing of Omaha guys there. Like Craig and I think everybody that's going has made the main there one time or another. It'd be cool if I could do that. I don't know. I just want to do well.
Just
I
gotta
don't
drive.
know. I don't.
You just gotta drive
Huh?
like you always drive. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah. I think that's probably like what would separate me from most is just being able to avoid stuff because I've always been really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always felt like I've had pretty good car control in
Well,
like the
based
oval
on the
world.
videos that I've watched the last couple of years from that race too, like there's a lot of unfortunate incidents with lead cars.
Yeah.
So if you can use the force a little bit and anticipate some of that stuff, I think you'd be really good.
Yeah, I think my training will come in to play,
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm like the for whatever reason I'm one guy that usually doesn't get collected very often.
Yeah.
I say that now. Where's some wood? I need
Yeah.
some wood.
Get some wood.
Like
Have
oh
you um have you kept up with some of the interesting team driver stuff? Like I brought
uh
up the first episode we ever did for the Hobbyplex. I kind of said, do we care? But I mean, it is kind of interesting. Have you
yeah.
seen the Tessman thing? And little bump went to
What
Kyosho.
tell me what you know about Testman so I know it's okay to say.
Well, I mean, he didn't get his contract renewed.
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of like how Jared was sort of let go
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. So it's kind of I think the whole paid driver thing isn't going to be around as long as it was, like I don't think these companies right now can afford to have as many paid drivers as they used to.
Do you think it was to make room for somebody younger?
Oh, with Ty?
Mm-hmm. Or I
Um,
mean, because they brought Ronafalk on,
well, it
but
could
I
be.
think I think Ronafalk's our age, not our age, but like the same age as everybody else. But I'm thinking like, did they not renew it for Ronafalk, or do you think there's more to it? Do you think there's something else going on?
Um, well, I think that they don't have to pay for Ronafalk to travel as much as they did Ty.
Mm,
And that's probably, what, $10,000 a year difference probably? Like if you think about it, like every trip's probably $1,000 or more. They're sending Ty. Ty literally had to like fly to every race.
mm-hmm.
So like for a team driver for a European company, I don't think it really made sense. They like a factory team driver on that level. But I've often wondered like usually like okay, so like team A lets somebody go and there's usually like some other spots at teams. I wish that like we knew how many paid spots there were out there, right?
Mm,
Like let's just say it's 16, right? Like we'll just say it's been 16 for a while. That's just a hypothetical number. Um but so like so now is and we'll say it was 16 5 years ago. Now is it like 12?
mm.
Like overall like with different companies? I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I think about is like usually one goes away from somewhere and one opens up somewhere else.
Right.
We're seeing less of that now.
Is there more of a pool to pay drivers from though? You think too?
More of a
Is
pool?
that
I think
stressing the whole paid driver situation out more because there is? Do you think there's more talent than there has been? Just say 5 years ago.
oh, I think there's more talent definitely. Like that's a fact. Like
Yeah.
there's more way faster guys. It's like but it's like is it do we have all these faster guys cuz everybody has aspirations of being a professional RC car driver and they live at the track and don't go to school or don't have a like a trade or anything, and then they have nothing to fall back on. I don't know.
Mm.
Like, it seems to me like there's a lot more of that than ever. Like, all the 20 or so year old guys in RC right now, like, aren't just doing it because they love it. They're doing it because they want to do it for a living,
Mm-hmm.
because they love it. Like, they're trying to make a career out of it, and it's out for it can't happen for everybody. And now it's like you have so many really fast people, which is great, but I just hope that guys are having something to fall back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, um, like I enjoy RC cars. Like,
Sure.
but at the end of the day, like I want to do something that I can pay bills with, and it's going to be kind of a guaranteed. Like I can't afford it. I didn't have a parent's basement to go live in.
Right.
You know,
Well, that
like
was that.
some.
I when when uh when Keenan interviewed me, we got to get Keenan on here. By the way, we got
Oh
to
yeah.
return the favor. I've been really slacking on that.
Well, he didn't have me on.
Well, he was he was he was. I emailed him a while back, a long time ago, for that whole
He
thing.
was like, "Who's Will?"
No, it wasn't that at all. But one of the things that he was like, okay, so you're in this area and you're trying to become a professional driver, and I was like, whoa. I'm like, hold on there, because I never had that aspiration ever. I just
Mhm.
wanted to be full sponsored guy. Never even occurred to me that we could get paid for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be full sponsored guy, and I had a regular
You guys
job.
are getting paid?
Yeah, you know, uh, but it does happen out there now, and
Mhm.
you know, it's weird. I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah. My whole thing, like, I guess, uh, like I wanted to help build cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to be a factory driver for Associated when I was a kid. Like that was my life goal.
Yeah.
Or or a race team driver or whatever you want to call it. And like I remember Richard Durand and I were racing our little 18 scale cars at Hobbytown when we were in junior high school and high school. And that was like we were talking about like, oh, those guys are making so much money doing this and blah blah, or or like they have like different level drivers and stuff, and the guys at Hobbytown would act like they know, but they really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you think back on like the stuff that they say or were saying about that in like 2002,
Yeah.
and they were totally wrong about
Yeah.
all of it. Like I've heard guys say like, "Oh, so and so works at that factory, but or he races for him, but he just has a job in the warehouse putting product away or something, and he gets to race."
Yeah.
Not the case. Not the case.
So where do you think Tessman's going to land, and we're a month away, less than a month away from any more craziness. We've already seen a couple moves, but I mean, where do you think Tessman's going to end up? What's your guess?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where he could end up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at? Like there may not be another spot anywhere.
Right.
And he's probably one of the most expensive ones to have on a team.
Mm.
Because he has to travel to every race.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying.
So
What's weird is he had a relatively okay year. Like he won the Vision race, right? Didn't he win the Vision race?
I think so.
This year?
I thought he had a fine year.
Yeah.
I don't know who won the Visions race, but
I'm pretty sure it's Tessman.
yeah, I thought he had a fine year.
I know he did more than that, but that was the one that came to mind. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to put anything out there because I'm not an insider in any way. I just wanted to talk about that stuff a little bit because it had been all that stuff went down after our last show was on. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if he's back at Hot Bodies.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see. What else we got going on? So we have your dirt oval racing, and the next one. Are you going to make the next one, or is that the same weekend as Chili Bowl?
Same weekend as the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
So a lot of us won't be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of us won't be there.
Emerson's going to the Southern Indoor Championships.
I think I saw something about that. That's pretty cool.
He blew up an engine this weekend again.
Another one?
Well,
and another one.
He's had some weird stuff. So he got this. So Chris Nunez hooked him up with an engine for his Truggy like a year and a half ago, which we never ended up racing.
Mm-hmm.
And but when I got Emerson his car for his birthday to race for the Techno Series, he pulled this engine out. We hooked it up, fired it up. Thing ran great. Idled, did everything it was supposed to be. And then the Friday practice of the Techno Series, he blew a connecting rod on that engine.
Another which brand?
It was Reds. No knock against Reds or anything. It's just weird. Like, I don't think Emerson was driving that crazy or doing anything, particularly wrong. It just sort of happened. So then, so we borrowed an engine again for that weekend, and Emerson was he was in a podium spot and his tire came off. The tire came unglued, and he had to come in and put a new tire on, and he lost a lap or two, ended up finishing 7th.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, got the engine back about a week and a half ago. Emerson put it in, was running great. Basically, it was a rebuilt engine, so new piston and sleeve, broke it in, it was running great, and practice, it looked great to me. I'm like, wow, that's really good. Qualifiers were good. The main came around, and halfway through the main, he started not able to clear stuff. Like, it was getting bogged down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, when he retired from the race, it came in. It was at like 360, and then
oh really?
Yeah, and then afterwards, after the engine cooled off and we were messing with it, it feels like he stretched a rod.
Yeah.
So it's not broke, but it's definitely stretched.
That would probably be why you had that high heat, just from the increased compression.
Yeah.
So there was that Roarnats, I think it was 16 or 17, when Mayfield still ran Reds.
Yeah.
His motor was that hot. It was running crazy hot. He was taking his engine apart every run because of how hot it was getting. He was like, it's still making smoke and still making power, so I don't know.
Yeah. So, again, though, he was in third, like solidly in third when this happened. So he's been in a podium position at a Techno Series race twice. Once with Mason there, Mason and Caden.
Mm-hmm.
And now this week with Ashton was there, Mason Herrick, Ruben King. I mean, it wasn't there weren't any slouches or anything in the main at all, and he was doing really good again, and I feel really bad for him. So we need to get him an engine before this and get it broken in, over the next couple of weeks. So
what kind of engine are you gonna get?
I ordered a Drake in ProTech engine for the store, a couple of them, and my backup plan was basically if he's having problems with his engine, we at least got this one in stock so I can get it and we can put it in.
Yeah. Those are OS based?
Yeah.
You'd be fine. I'd just get one of those.
Yeah. So we're going to go that route, I think. I was going to get him an OGO bag for Christmas, but Emerson, if you're watching or listening, if I have to buy you engine, we're not getting you an OGO bag. Sorry.
Aw. Quit blowing him up.
So, yeah. So there you go. So that brings us to the Techno Series. Let's talk about the Techno Series. I know you weren't there. You were busy working.
Yeah.
But round 2, like I said, I really didn't make any changes to the track because we didn't really have the proper equipment to do so. Friday was filling up really fast, and we had more people there on Friday than we did last round in November.
Yeah.
So I was curious to see if we'd get over the cutoff for a 1-day event.
Hmm.
And then come Saturday, some people that normally just show up on Saturday weren't there. And so,
Yeah.
so I thought, well, okay. And we ended up with 151 entries after some late entries and
That's
stuff.
still badass.
Oh, I know.
Like for a monthly points series. Come on, that's still really awesome.
I know. I gotta say, if anybody out there thinks that I'm bummed out that we don't have 250 entries and we're trying to run an event in 1 day, I got news for you. Most tracks would kill for the turnout we have still. So I get the threat of making it a Saturday Sunday event has kept some people away, but you know, from my standpoint, I'm looking at quality of the event versus just I don't know, like
You want people to have a good experience, not just be there for 48 hours straight, like
yeah,
wrenching on stuff and hate it and then get burned out, and then you end up with less people having less fun,
and
you know.
there's also my health and my sanity too, you know.
You know, the first thing that I like whenever somebody might complain about the track, and I always just tell them like, you get off work, you go home, you get to see your family. Well, that guy there in the store right now wishes he could do that. You
Right?
know?
Yeah,
Like I,
yeah.
I've told multiple people that are actually really close friends that, and it gave them a totally different perspective of what you got going on,
Yeah.
you know?
I think the cutoff, I appreciate that too, but I think the cutoff now for me for 1 day versus 2 days is 18 heats. I was thinking about this as we were getting ready. So we had 16 heats, and we were actually under 3 hours around,
Hmm.
and because we were hauling tail. And we didn't even have to wait for anybody that was broken or anything like that. And then that gave us a little bit of time in between to kind of like check over the track, do a resort, let people get a few more minutes of practice, that sort of thing. 18 heats would put us, right around that 3 hour per round mark, but it would also make the mains getting close to 7 hours,
Yeah.
which pushes us past 11, getting close to midnight again, you know? And that's kind of what I wanted to maybe start to get away from. So I think I think we'll keep the rule in place for this year. I think next round, I don't think we're going to have, I think we'll have the exact same amount, about 150, because there'll be some of our regular guys going to the Southern Indoor Champs. And
Right.
I knew that going in. When you're scheduling stuff, you have to, sometimes you got to look at it and go, well, there's nothing I can do about this. And that's one of those dates where it's like, well, there's nothing I can do about that.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to have it on the first weekend of January, and it sucks because that's right after the Christmas rush.
Right.
I need that time, that extra little bit of time, to make sure I get the track ready to go for everything that starts up again in January. So I think next round we probably will end up doing it in 1 day again, unless something crazy happens and like a whole bunch of people show up out of nowhere. In February, if it's super duper cold, that might keep some people away. If the roads are bad or anything like that, so we might not have to worry about it this year again. But if we do get up to that 180, 190 entry count, 200, then to me, that's where it justifies going on to day 2, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, what I'm thinking is, and I've thought about this a lot, especially when we started getting up there with entry count, man, trying to do it all in 1 day. I think 175 is the cutoff. I think next year I'm going to do it online entry only, 175 entries.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. They have waiting lists.
Yeah. The thing that always bugged me about, or that always bothered me with trying to do that though, is you get those people that either pretend or say they don't look online. They haven't, they didn't know.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to name names, but I know a couple people that would do that. They'd just show
Mm-hmm.
up and be like, "I'm here," and I'd be like, "Well, you didn't sign up online." Then what am I supposed to tell them?
Sorry you drove 9 hours.
Yeah, um, so I'll have to really stress that and try to really get that out there next year. But I think that's what I'm gonna do next year is we'll go back to 1 day, and I get it, but I think 175 online entries would be the sweet spot.
Yeah, I guess then if you want to, because you'd make it 2 days then, no matter what.
No, 175 entries. We do it all on Saturday again.
Okay.
If we were over that again, you know, it would. That's where the justification comes in for making it a 2-day event. Is if you get over about 180 entries, because then
Right.
that pushes qualifying being done. 7:30, 7. And then you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to run 7 hours of mains after that. That's stupid.
Right.
You know.
Well, and like you were saying, like uh, you still want it to seem like you're just there to take everybody's money.
Yeah.
Regardless, just build that entry count up. Like
Yeah.
some people are accused of. I don't know if it's true or not. I doubt it, but
I
I mean,
think
it
if
makes sense.
Yeah, I think if we were after everybody's money, we'd have 13 classes, and the entry fee would be $15 more than it is now. You
I
know.
do think that you should have a thing for like if you were a points winner or top so many in points the previous year, you're like guaranteed a spot. I don't know. Just in case somebody didn't get in and
Oh,
I don't
sure. Yeah.
I'm just like because it is a point series. This is a special situation because it's once a month and it isn't just like a weekend like long race,
Yeah.
like it's once a month.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that the guys that um, you know, have a shot at winning points don't not race because they didn't get in.
Sure.
Like they thought they were gonna have to skip around
They
because they had
kind of
a
that boat.
family thing.
Yeah, I believe they kind of do that with Roar. Like if you were in the A main at the gas nats,
Hmm.
I think your entries are set aside. They're not
Yeah,
part of that 300 entry count when they do the online entries for that. At
right.
least when I was with Roar, we were talking about that. I think they finally did implement that.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, I could see that. No, that's a really good idea. So
So, like, yeah, you'd hate to see a points championship decided because somebody didn't get entered in time.
right, yeah,
You
exactly,
know,
yeah. And
and that
the
way,
way I'd probably
and
do
see,
it
in
is,
that way it covers you for somebody being mad, like, well, I should have won. He didn't sign up. You know,
yeah,
which is something that could
yeah,
happen.
for sure. And I think we'll do it. We'll open up signups for the next race like the Monday after, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I think for now we'll just leave it the way it is. And like I said, if a round comes up and again we have 180, 190 entries or more, then yeah, we'll probably stick to the 2-day program. But
Hmm.
just the way the ebb and flow of the Techno Series, looking at the past, has gone. Usually the first 2 rounds are some. Well, I shouldn't say that. January's often the biggest one when it's not the same event as some of the um, when it's not on the same date as another big event somewhere. So
Hmm.
we'll see. But for now, we'll just I'm not going to change it mid-season. So we'll stick to the rule. Everybody plan on being there on Sunday, and if we can get it done in one, then you get to go home early.
Yeah.
Because this week I think we were down 11. When was the last race? Oh shit.
There you go.
9:45. I was done at 11. There you go. We were done before 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean we went through them pretty fast actually.
I remember there being winter series that I didn't get off the track until like what 1:15 for e-buggy.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to, well, no, it's Saturday.
What I did like about the 2-day thing though is like the last qualifier was done at the last qualifier for round 1 I believe was done at 5 or something like that. And I let people practice afterwards.
Right.
You know, and maybe Emerson's engine stuff could have gotten caught if I would have let him, if we would have had practice, because I know Emerson would have practiced because he didn't know what his runtime was going to be. He was expecting it to be a 2-day event, so he didn't test that Friday night. And I told him, I said, well, that's kind of your fault, dude. You know?
Yeah.
But anyways, I just don't want anybody to think that there's controversy, because there's not. There really isn't, in my opinion. There's not. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal.
No. I think that as long as it's something that everybody can plan on and it's consistent, either way, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I kind of feel like the guys that are traveling for it, they're going to stay the night no matter what.
Right.
I would think, you know.
Yeah, that had been something in the past that I noticed. Then that's kind of what led the decision of, okay, well, let's try to make it, Saturday, Sunday this year, because most of these guys are spending the night anyways and going home Sunday.
And then you get to go have dinner or do something,
Yeah, no kidding. Let's get into the results real fast. So, pretty damn good racing going on all day. Some of the early mains were a little messy, but I mean, it's the early mains. Like,
yeah,
what are you can't, nothing anybody can really do about that. But the mains themselves, I thought were pretty good. Sportsman Nitro, of course, we always run the 2 Nitro buggy ones first. It helps kind of relieve some stress, for me at least, knowing that we got through those 2 races. Bill Nichols has gone 2 for 2. So he's won both mains here in Sportsman. Qualified 3rd, finished first. Keith Vanderhyde, first time for him here this year. Kind of picked up right where he left off from last season, winning or getting 2nd or 3rd. Justin Andres got TQ and ended up 3rd. It was a pretty good back and forth race for a majority of the first set of pit stops. I think after the first set of pit stops, it kind of filtered out where Bill kind of got away and just tried to stay clean. Same thing for Keith and Justin. I think Keith and Justin were pretty close for a while. Lucas was up there. I think he had a flame out, though. That kind of killed his shot at staying up there. Some guys did the bump game, which was pretty awesome. Lucas was one of them, so he got the bump up to 9th and ended up 4th. Nick Sneathen from the 8th spot ended up 5th. Alan Tumberlin, pretty steady, made the main. Qualified 6th, finished 6th. Lexi from the bump spot from 10th ended up 7th. Then it was James Martley, Jalen Wettengel. He was out at the 11-minute mark. And Devin Wright, he was going really fast too. And then something broke in his car 5 minutes in. So that kind of stunk because he was up there battling for maybe a top 3 until that point. So it's kind of a bummer. And he's one of those guys that's been coming to the Techno Series forever. So I always like to see him do really well.
Oh, yeah.
Expert Nitro. I didn't get as upset in this one when Emerson had his trouble as I did in the first round. First round, I got really upset at just life in general because he was in 3rd. he had a lap up on Tom Rinderknecht. Just Rinderknecht had a flame out and had to drive all the way back up. And we were looking at the lap times, and it would have been really close if he was able to catch Emerson or not. If Emerson would have stayed on track.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, you know, you started to hear that engine. I could see it in his car, and I wasn't as butthurt because in this case, it was just kind of one of those nitro things.
Well, he's like trying.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
first round, it was a bad glue job on a tire that could have been easily prevented. That's why I was mad. I'm like, God, you know, this is so stupid. Like, you know, kept him from getting a podium. Because people do pay attention to this series now and who gets top 3 in the expert classes. So the fact that Emerson has been in third twice now, you know, close. It just bums me out that he hasn't gotten it done. We haven't gotten it done yet. But this time didn't bum me out as bad because it felt like just one of those nitro things that happens. You know?
Yeah.
That being said, Ashton Abdul and Drew Rubin King pulled away very early from everybody. And I believe, if I remember right, Rubin King had the lead until about halfway. He had a big lead too. At least I thought it was a big lead. And then pit stops kind of came around and stuff started to cycle through. And then Ashton got the lead and then he pulled away. And he ended up winning officially by a lap. It was probably a little closer, probably like 15 seconds really between him. But Ashton got the extra lap at the end. Rubin King was second. Jake Stolzing was third. Jake and Emerson were having a really good race for that third spot before Emerson's problems happened. Riley Philbert got fourth. He was driving a banger. He looked a lot better this time than the round one as well. Graham Hill came from Colorado.
Nice.
And it was nice seeing Graham, and Shelby Parker was there, and Jason Roberts. They were all there kind of hanging out together. So Graham's back with that techno car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he had to bump, but he ended up finishing fifth. Bradley Peterson was sixth. Connor Herrick bumped to the expert main and finished seventh.
Oh, Connor.
Yeah. Emerson was able to still finish eighth because Mason Herrick broke a part in his car and Noah Hicklin's car also broke. So we had three not finish the race: Emerson, Mason, and Herrick. But it was a pretty standard 30-minute main. I mean, you know, usually in the expert main of the Techno Series, there's kind of a when Mason's there and Caden's there, or when Jared was coming up, or Seth, Van Dalen. There's always been this sort of pace that's been able to put down by the leaders, and usually it's very fast. Like you think they're going fast in the qualifiers, and then the main comes around, and it's like they all turn it up a notch.
Right.
And I feel like that's what Ashton and Drew were kind of doing with each other. They were the ones this round because Mason and the Fullers weren't there. Seth wasn't here. Jared wasn't here. Even Wiggins, he every once in a while he'll come down or up depending on where he's living.
Yeah.
But there was still that pace being pushed by Ashton and Drew, and they were able to kind of pull away kind of early, and then that's where Jake, Emerson, Riley, Graham, they were all kind of having that mid-pack battle, and they had their own pace, So I don't know, it was pretty cool to see that. I thought the main was fun. It was fun to see how everything sort of panned out until Emerson's engine blew up, and then I kind of stopped caring.
Yeah.
No, I still cared, but I was just like, I'm like, okay, Ashton's got the lead by 12 seconds. Good job.
Yeah, good job.
Okay. Sportsman e-buggy. So this one's crazy, okay? This one's pretty nuts. So Justin Andres got the win from the third spot. Connor Hausch got second from 10th from the bump spot. But it wasn't just the bump spot from the B main. Connor was dead last in the D main. Dead last. He broke twice in his and like early. Like one he broke in warm up and another one he broke like on the first lap.
Is he driving and this is nitro or electric?
Electric. Sportsman e-buggy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Connor broke. He was dead last in the D and he bumped to the C and then he bumped to the B and then he bumped to the A. And then I think on like the third lap, he was up to second. I mean, it was quick. Yeah, fourth lap. Fourth lap, he got up to second and stayed there.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty rad. Jalen Weddingel finished third. Keith Vanderheide was fourth. John Haas from the 9, he was the other bumper, from the 9 to the 5 spot. Poppenfuss was sixth. Nick Poppenfuss. Matt Robinson was 7th. Troy Jackson was 8th. Travis Slover was 9th. And then Jake Sovacool, unfortunately, was out. He was your TQ, but he was out.
Dang it.
Yeah. Sovacools were one of those, I think, that came down on Saturday, on the day of.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see. Go back to the results here. Okay, Mini Truggy was me again, TQ and win. Connor Herrick was second. Dylan Haas from the 8th spot to 3rd. This is his first podium that I'm aware of. I think at a Techno Series. For some reason, I think he might have gotten 3rd in Sportsman e-buggy. Was that last month?
Yeah.
It might have been. But anyways, from the 8 to the 3, Bryson Pavel, the Pavels were here in full force, finished 4th. Cage Mills was 5th. Sam White, John Haas had to bump, which is weird for John, but he was having some little issues here and there. He got the extra race, kind of like practice, basically. Rob Turner was 8, Dale Reek was 9, and Josh Cochin was 10. There were 12 trucks, so I could have put all 12 in the main, but I just felt like that was gonna be a lot. Like I know they're mini truggies, and we probably did have room for them, but I just feel like that would have been a lot, so I didn't do it.
It's you gotta you gotta think of the marshals. You know.
Yeah. My mini truggy's so fun, dude.
Yeah.
It kind of bums me out. This is the lowest turnout we've had a mini truggy in a long time. We usually have like
nobody else made one to develop the class.
I know, and that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because like they're so fun and cool looking. I think they look rad.
Oh yeah. I thought that was kind of like, so the way I kind of looked at that is, there's no mod truck, right?
Yeah.
Like for the most part, that's kind of like your mod truck.
Yeah.
Your new mod truck.
And I thought it'd be so easy. Like just make longer A-arms for your B74 or your 22X4.
Yeah.
And longer drive shafts.
Piece of cake.
Put the same shock lengths on the front, sort of. I don't know, like as your stadium trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And call it good. Call it a mini truggy. Who cares? That's basically what they're doing. That's what Velocity was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of ticked me off that we haven't gotten, other than the X-Ray and the PR truck.
Yeah.
Those are the only other two like legit ones, right?
As far as I know.
It's not a conversion.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Velocity still makes that conversion.
Dude, Techno trucks are dialed. So, I mean, if they own the class, they own the class.
Right, I know. But, I mean, you wondered why there wasn't hardly any more of them. That's why.
I know.
But,
yeah, well.
I mean, it is a little hillbilly, but...
I mean, kind of.
There's a lot of hillbilly.
But you can stick a fast ass motor in there. I run a 5.5 in mine.
Exactly, dude.
Just
Some truck nuts, and you're in.
Yeah.
Like some the RPM dirty danglers.
Yeah. I do need to get a J Concepts body on mine with that bruggy look to it now.
Yeah,
But I actually like the
I
stock. I like the J Concepts original bodies for those.
oh yeah,
I think they look.
can't go wrong there.
I think they look sweet. The bruggy body doesn't look necessarily right to me. I still prefer the old. I call it old, but the original style.
Yeah,
Just in the
where
J
it was
Concepts version.
like truck looking.
Yeah,
At least like
where it's over the shock towers. I still prefer that, at least in that class.
right.
The 8
You
scale
remember?
the 8 scale bruggy bodies are actually kind of growing on me a little
Yeah,
bit.
they look cool. It just doesn't look like a truck no more. But
John says hillbilly says the oval guy.
eh. Yep.
Yeah, says the type of racing where one of your classes is called Mud Boss.
Yeah, we don't race that at the Plex no more though.
No,
So
I
there
know.
is that.
I know.
Yeah.
Put a bunch of chili in your mouth. I
didn't.
got me a Mud Boss.
I wasn't knocking it. I said it's kind of hillbilly.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
You gotta own it. Like yee.
Next round, I'll wear my straw hat that I wear when I go fishing.
Oh yeah. You need like a trucker hat with like either a Yosemite Sam or a naked lady laying on it, on the front of it.
Banquet
That'd be sweet.
or banquet. Coors Banquet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyways,
You have like a wallet chain and what else? What else is hillbilly? Yeah, you swear rolls this is pack of Marlboro Reds up into your sleeve on your t-shirt. You have like a big belt buckle.
Belt buckle, yeah.
You have like blue Stingray boots.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get arrested on your way to the track at Walmart every time.
Yeah. Man, this microphone is picking up my breathing hard. I hope you guys don't hear that on YouTube.
I do.
Do you hear that?
I just said that.
You ever hear you ever listen to a piece of like Trump's speeches when he's really going at it and he does that whole breathing thing? He's like blah 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 fake news. And you can just hear it in the microphone every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that right there. I just breathed out right into the microphone.
Yeah.
The next person that uses this mic for the next podcast is gonna have just covered in my exhaust, basically.
They're gonna be able to taste your cough.
My Kickstarter. Yeah. Why does this smell like oranges?
Yeah.
Okay. 8 scale nitro truggy. Brandon Carney got a TQ and win. Logan Prismanis got a second. Greg Baumel came up. This is his first time here this year. Ended up third. Chad Ruben King was fourth. David Bradford is fifth. Nick Poppenfuss sixth. Justin Andre seventh. Jake Stolzing eighth. He broke out. Can't remember what happened. I think it might have been a front knuckle actually. And then Christopher Craig had problems at the start, and so did Corey Hines. I always say Hines. It's Corey Hines. So Christopher and Corey both had like catastrophic issues at the start of this one, so that kind of sucked. I feel bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jake also broke out, so we only ended up with 7 trucks running at the end of this one. Which I said this while we were announcing on the live stream too. I was like, I remember from last year Nitro Truggy being an attrition monster. Sometimes we only have like 5 trucks finishing. There I am again. You can hear it. So that once we got the nitro out of the way, then we're back to expert e-buggy. In this one, Mason Herrick qualified second and got the win. Ruben King got the TQ and finished second. They flip-flopped. Let's see. 1, 2. They flip-flopped the lead 3 times throughout the race. Ashton Abdul who, by his own admission, says that e-buggy's not his strongest class, finished third. He was kind of in no man's land there for a little while. He was so far back from Drew and Mason, but he was so far in front of everybody else that he's just kind of hanging out in that third spot.
Yeah.
TJ Williams came up from the bump spot up to fourth. So this, again, another bump driver doing really, really well. Logan Prismanis finished fifth. Daniel Bender was also the bump. So the two of the boys, okay, TJ and Daniel, both got the bump up and both finished in the top 6. Daniel, Friday night, had a lipo fire while practicing in his car.
Oh, yeah, I saw that picture.
So he his car started smoking. I don't know. Nobody knows. He's running the 2 shorty packs side by side, okay? And only one battery had a problem, but the other battery kind of got caught in the fire, so he got rid of both of them. And then his car stunk to high heaven, so he spent the rest of Friday after that rebuilding that car from start to finish.
Yeah.
Cleaning it, and I think he replaced all of his screws, he said. So, then he was wondering, you know, is my speed controller even going to work? And everything worked. Everything was fine. The only thing that got damaged were the on-off switch on his speed controller got a little burnt, and he needed new battery trays, of course, and the car needed to be cleaned really bad, and the body got a little bit burnt.
I had a 8-scale blow up big. It burned a hole in the body.
I
remember that.
Yeah, I do remember
They just took it and threw it out the door. I was like, oh, I guess I'm done.
So it was smoking, and they took it outside, and then when they took the body off to get the batteries out of the car, that's when it blew up into flames. And I
really?
saw it, and I saw, because I can't remember who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody, and I saw it. I'm like, oh crap! And then I saw the flames, so I ran over and grabbed a fire extinguisher and ran over. But by the time I'd gotten over to the car, I think it was Bradley Peterson. He did his smart thing. He just took a bunch of sand and gravel in the parking lot and just put it on top of it.
Yeah.
And he put out the fire, and then the batteries pretty much just fell out, and then we kicked them down onto the parking lot. So it wasn't that bad. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, but the damage wasn't that bad at all. So, so that was good. So,
yeah.
And props to Daniel for hanging in there, because he could have just said, I'm quitting, I'm going home, but he didn't do it. He's only running one class. He's only running Expert E-Buggy.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
Yeah. So up to 10th. And then Connor Herrick finished 7th. Dane Gangler was 8th. Chad Rubin King was 9th. And then Eric Fletcher was 10th. And finally, the last race of the night was E-Truggy. And Brandon Carney got another TQ and win in this one. And so I think him and Logan have traded TQs and wins, if I remember correctly. Logan Prismanis finished 2nd. Chad Rubin King 3rd. Matt Robinson from the 10th position up to 4th. Speaking of Matt Robinson, he put in a ceiling fan over the track.
Oh, nice.
As like a test. And he's thinking he might put in more of them, like all the way across.
Yeah.
To see if we can circulate some more air in there, like when it's not windy. We were pretty lucky this week because it was windy both days, Friday and Saturday. So it didn't get too badly smoky in there. But he also replaced the light, and he put new lights in my booth. Holy crap, it's so nice and bright in my booth now. I can see everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, Matt's awesome. John Haas qualified finished 5th. Jake Silvacool was 6th. Ben Silvacool was 7th. David LaRoe was 8th. Cage Mills, and then TJ Williams broke out of the Truggy race too. And he was there, dude. Like, he was there with Brandon and Logan. And in fact, he dropped a dime on him. If you can go back to the live stream towards the end of the night and watch like the first 5 minutes of the race. No, maybe it's the middle of the race. It doesn't matter. Watch the E-Truggy race again. TJ, there's not much room for these big-ass trucks, to begin with, but he made a clean, like, dialed pass after the triple, like, in between Brandon and Logan. It was pretty sweet.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he broke out, though.
Dang it.
So we'll go there again. We'll get there. Um, we've got so that was the Techno Series race. I just want to say I really appreciate everybody that comes out for that year after year. Like I said, some places would kill for the turnout we have. Even I mean, we're not doing last year's crazy numbers, but this is a very manageable amount of entries. So
No, yeah.
it also makes it less stressful on me to have to worry about pit space. Like I always, when we had those huge turnouts last year, I was freaking out because even though we weren't at 155 people, like pit space started to become an issue because everybody kind of creeps a little bit. You're only supposed to get 4 feet, but everybody kind of creeps over that. And a lot of times, because everybody shows up on Fridays, there's only one spot here and there. Instead of a couple spots put together, there's one spot. There's like one spot in between different groups. And so you get guys that want to come and pit next to one another. Well, now there's no more pit spots for them to pit next to their buddy. So it got a little crazy. And, you know, so that's why I don't mind. I don't mind what's happened this year with any of it. And like I said, there is no controversy in my opinion. So I just I want everybody to know that I really appreciate them. The ones that are coming to this series for year after year after year after year, you know, hopefully we do you right and hang in there as always for the end when we do all of our giveaways and stuff too. And I'll be able to be there for this one. Because the summer series I wasn't there. Feel bad. Emerson did a good job though in September.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see now that this round is over because the Techno Series happens to, you know, it happens at the end of one year and the beginning of another year. Wonder how many people are going to come back with different cars and different manufacturers, and the sponsored guys that we have are going to be on different teams when they come back.
That happens more often than you realize sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it really does. Like the summer series, we don't have to worry about it because it happens in the summer. You don't really see much, you know, change of anything. Stuff's usually set by then.
Yeah.
In the past, it's been exciting. I remember when Seth went from Hot Bodies to Techno. I mean, that was I wonder if that was one of the reasons why that January round sometimes can be kind of big because like last year it was Jared's first run with a Miyako. You know, and in the past it had been the first run for like actually it would have been the first run with Jared's Techno 2 years before that.
Yeah.
You know, and then also when Seth went from HB to Techno, you know, that January was the first race on that. When the Fullers went from low C to Hot Bodies, I think their first race was ours. So that's always kind of an exciting time, I guess. We will see. It's 8:00. We got not much time. We started kind of late. We could go through the comments, or what else do we want to talk about? What's on your mind?
I don't know. Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Thinking about my setup for the Chili Bowl. I don't know. Part of me is just like, I was just gonna run what I ran all summer, like when I was running on those Sprinter tires. That's why I did all those races this summer. Like on outdoor and like looser tracks. At tracks that spec'd out that Sprinter tire. So it's like I was kind of forced to use it and come up with a setup for that tire. And I think I'm just gonna put that setup on my car essentially, and that's kind of what I'm doing. Um, you know, but yeah, I'm kind of like undoing my car here, and I have some new parts coming for this car that I haven't really had a chance to run anywhere. So
Mm.
they're supposed to be more better.
Would would being able to practice at the Plex sometime benefit you, or is the surface going to be so different that it wouldn't really help at all?
Um, I think that the balance in my car would be good anywhere. No, it would actually probably be beneficial to be able to have a practice day. I guess Jensen is gonna add a club race, but honestly, like I've like my car like all seasoned and kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to race it with a bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against them. It's just more of even if there was like a club race at the Plex, I would question whether or not I would want to run my car or not.
Right.
Um, but if there was like a practice day,
Well, it's kind of like
and
I had my car all ready to go for Worlds,
mhm,
and I just wanted to get some
yeah,
practice laps, and then a kid on Friday night decided to drive backwards down the back straightaway, and I hit him, and it broke my car up really bad.
yep,
You know, like 3 days before I was going to leave, and I'm like,
hmm
dude, maybe
that
I should.
happened to me. That happened to me. It always happens when you got a big race. Your car's all nice, and you're just gonna go break it in. And, like, there was that time I had a new chassis plate, hard side rails, like, it was, like, the original B6 era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my car was all tricked out, like, ready to go, like, perfect, felt great, and a short course truck jumped onto the straightaway and T-boned my car and bent the chassis like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that did it, that bald man, was just like, "What?" He's like kept driving, like didn't say sorry or nothing.
Yeah.
Like, eh,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So even if it was just to break the drivetrain in on this thing, because I'm the one that was in my car, like I hadn't replaced it in a long time. It just felt so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it was getting so bad, or like so like almost to the point where I was kind of worried about it failing. So replaced it, and I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
I like having a really broken in drivetrain.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris Morant was at the store today on his birthday. Actually, happy birthday, Chris Morant. But
Yeah,
he's at the store all day today from open to close. Basically, he said he's breaking in his cars,
yeah,
breaking in a new car for sick.
yeah.
So
That's the other thing, like, if I go up there to, like, practice, it's like I'd almost have to just, like, take a day off and do it when there's nobody there,
mm-hmm.
'cause, um, I don't wanna have to share a track with a nitro car or, like, somebody with, like, uh, ready to run with, like, a 2 milliamp battery in it, and they never pull off, and you don't get any practice time.
Right.
Or you don't wanna go out there while they're there, or you just tell them like, "Hey, let me get some laps," and then they run your car over and destroy it. But
Exactly. Um I'm in a weird spot right now where I had such a bad carpet race last time. It made me think, should I race carpet anymore this year? Like I really that weekend after the weekday after the last Saturday race, I actually thought I'm going to put my car back to dirt and just practice because um I want to go to the Roarnets this year.
yeah,
They're at Beach or Sea, which is an awesome place to go. You know, we're going to be running slicks. If 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 we can get Emerson focused on that after this nitro stuff this year, he can, if he gets top 30 in either mod 4-wheel or 2-wheel, we can qualify for the Worlds in Australia.
mhm,
You know, it's not out of the realm of possibility. He's definitely good enough, I think, to be able to do that. And especially if we just practice, if we just have our stuff on dirt and just utilize the track that we have. We have access to a clay track, even though it loses its consistency in the wintertime.
yeah. Yeah, maybe I will end up trying to come up and practice, like, during the week or something. and like plan on it. Because I could be up there when the store opens and uh end up leaving around like 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
and make a day out of it that way.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I'll think about it because I know like I'm getting some like maybe even just to run some tires in like on a track, you know,
Yeah.
like put some laps on some tires, even though they're not the right tires for the surface, but just to put a leading edge on them because I scuffed them in, but it's never like actually running them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
So and actually, I'd rather have the track be low grip, and dusty.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that's probably what I'm going to be running on.
For sure. Yeah, I think I meant to grab a part so I could fix my buggy because I'll probably run this weekend, even though I said I wasn't going to. But I'm just gonna fix my car and run it anyways,
Hmm.
and just see. I
Yeah.
I lost track of what I was doing. I remember the first week I ran carpet. I'm like, I don't really care how I do, and then I bumped up from the B, and then my car was like really good in the main. I'm like, oh man, I'm back, baby. And then I won. You know, that one weekend 3 weeks ago. And then the last weekend, I just horrible. My car was like on ice, but I don't know. That's what it felt like, and I had good tires and everything too. So I don't know. I was just in a weird spot, but I think I'm still gonna race this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll give it one more go, but I'm gonna go into it thinking I don't really care what happens again. I got to go back to that mindset
Right.
because I think I psyched myself up. You know, I'm bad at that. I gotta stop doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go through the comments real fast. So I asked people what I should do with this. Should I do an after hours like live stream build, or should I do like an actual video? Maybe even it might even end up being 2 parts.
You should give it to your best pal, Will.
uh
You
nah.
should have a raffle and I'll enter it.
No, we only got in 2, and I know there's a few people that also wanted one. We ordered 4 and only got 2.
Oh, really?
And
And
I bought one. I bought it.
nice.
I bought it. I saw it was coming in, and I'm like, I'm gonna intercept before they're put out. I'm gonna intercept and get it before, because Sheffield bought my. Oh, nothing. Never mind. Anyways, I almost blew that, didn't I? Yeah, just I don't know. So the question was, do I do it on the live stream or not? And it said build that sucker on the live stream. So. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see. Go down here. Steve RC said next week is Eichler's Christmas concert. I'm so glad that Emerson. I don't have to do that with Emerson anymore. Pretend I enjoy Christmas concerts with young children. Like this. Smitty in Inia? Smitty in Iowa. I get it. Says a regular oval on Wednesday nights, but not at the trophy race at Haven usually. So they are having that. I think they're going to be doing it Memorial Day weekend again.
Oh yeah, having the shootout.
Yeah, the shootout.
Does the B5 count as vintage?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I think it's got to be a certain age or older.
They don't make it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
That car's like what, 10 years old? No. Yeah, it's 10 years old.
Yeah.
I'll just run a B4.
If that car counted, I could run my 22. But I don't want to do that. My 22 is brand new. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I ain't doing that.
Yeah. So Hobby Haven does have oval on Wednesday nights. That could be fun. We could go there on a Wednesday night next year.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I need to have just like a big race oval car and a club race oval car.
Yeah.
Or a sprint car. I need a couple of them. Collect the whole set, you know?
Yeah. Dallas
I'll
Boyd
be like
says, oh, sorry. I interrupted
I'll
you.
be like the guys that have like 3 cars, one low bite, one medium bite, and one high bite car, and they never touch anything on each one. They just run a different
That
car.
is how they do it.
That's how it's done, dude. Some of them. I beat the guys that do that though.
Mm-hmm. Dallas Boyd says he hasn't ran the series in a while, the Techno series. But when I did run it, I worked nights. I would leave Friday night, come back Sunday morning with no sleep.
Nice.
I mean, that's how Morant usually does it too.
Yeah. I don't think he's slept yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Since last year.
Anthony Santi says he's surprised the Winter Series wasn't a 2-day event after the first time he saw what time we were done. So, yeah, no kidding. Then he also says mini truck is a little interesting to him. We may have to switch from stadium truck one day. We have sold a couple more mini truggies, like 3 in the last 2 weeks. Full setups too, like from start to finish, everything. So I know there's going to be at least a couple more on Friday nights. Friday night mini truck is pretty fun. I really want to get an e-buggy, but the way this season's working out with Emerson's stuff, I don't think I'm going to be able to get one.
Yeah.
Kind of bums me out. Do you still have an e-buggy?
Yeah. It's in pieces, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why? I mean, it's just taken apart.
No.
Why?
Oh, maybe I could borrow it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You don't want it.
Okay.
It's an older one.
Oh, okay. Santi said, or no, sorry. We were talking about Hillbilly, and Andrew Barrett said, "Can you imagine Alex pulling up on a scooter, dressed like that?"
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. He also says they were given, all the boys were kind of pitting together. They were really giving Bender a pep talk because he was pretty bummed out Friday. Um,
Yeah. He probably should have like texted 50 people about what 12 gauge wire to buy. It wouldn't have happened.
For those of you listening, Daniel Bender tends to text a lot of people.
He hasn't done it.
He hasn't done it in a long time.
Yeah, it was a do not disturb situation after 9 o'clock every night.
I would get texts from Daniel at like 11:30 midnight on like a Wednesday. And first off, I'm like, why are you not asleep? Don't you have school tomorrow? And then the other one was like, dude, this is after hours. Like don't text me after 10 o'clock. You know?
I didn't tell him that. I get up for work at 4.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Nathan Salvatore says put an exhaust fan on the side of the building for exhaust and maybe a second floor in the pit area.
A second floor?
Well, okay, the second floor thing, that's never going to happen. Funny story, the original design of the Plex had the sales floor actually coming out further and being over the pits.
Mm-hmm.
So that when you look down, you would actually see the track and not the pit area.
Yeah.
And then it got scaled back a little bit. Little funny story about that. The exhaust fan on the side of the building. So I've tried to make my own. It didn't really work. We need to get one like cut in and stuff. And that is something maybe in the future we've looked at. I've talked about it with the new owner quite a number of times. It's kind of one of those things, it's just like one thing at a time. I think last year a decision had to be made between a new pit or exhaust fans. And we made the decision to do the new pit. You know, so because I was just thinking quality of racing, like our pit. God damn it, our hot pit was awful. You know.
Oh yeah.
So much nicer now, way nicer.
Welcome to the Hobbyplex, home of the world's worst pit lane.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. We're almost done with this. So Steve RC says, was it 2 weeks ago we had record entries for several races? So we had 21 Hot Wheels racers, which I finally won a Hot Wheels race, by the way.
That's what I
Did you see
heard.
that? Yeah. I found my little secret.
Yeah.
I'm also going to retire that car. So basically, if I win with a car, I'm never going to use it again.
It's funny.
Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, you should start selling your winning Hot Wheels cars for like $50.
Yeah.
It's all ready to go.
And then we had 37 on a Tiny Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we had like 17 mod mini Bs. It was awesome. Actually, 2 weeks in a row we've had really good turnouts. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a really good Saturday. I think we had 97 that same week on a Saturday on carpet.
Nice.
So it was really good. This is a question. This is a good question. Do the new Smoothie 2s with the thicker sidewall, do they act like Smoothie 2s with the inserts?
It's like a halfway.
Yeah.
It's like a medium stiffness.
Because those inserts are pretty hard.
Oh yeah, no, they're very noticeable when you have them in and when you don't.
Yeah.
I feel like the ones that are molded with the thicker sidewall are probably what you want.
Mm-hmm.
For most applications.
We should be getting 8 to the store tomorrow.
Yeah.
The new front tire in 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive.
That'll be nice.
It's kind of off season, but not for you guys. Actually, the oval guys might like them.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, the old guys will buy them up. I'm sure.
Smitty and I was Mark Schmidt. Now it makes sense.
Nice.
And then finally, Steve wants to know what we need to have on 2-wheel drive class on Fridays. I would say at least like 4, 5 would be nice so that we can have marshals.
Yeah.
Last Friday we only had 2 officially, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And I couldn't combine them with another class because they were running the same car, I guess. So, or we only had one. Because a lot of times they'll just take 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive and put them together, but it's the same people sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
just didn't work. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're caught up, and we're not hearing crazy late. It says 87 minutes, so what is that? That's an hour and a half.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I can deal with that.
For being once a month.
Yeah, once a month. Kind of left out some stuff. There's some Syndicate races, Tiny Tuesday races, Hot Wheels races, Honored races.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in finding the results on those, just go to Live RC.
Yeah.
And look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Google it. I love using that. When somebody asks me a question, I'm like, I don't know. Google it. Like, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, yeah, do you have a phone? And you're like, yeah, I got one right here. Yeah, Google it.
Yeah. Google it. My goodness.
Erin's home. She's pretending to fart in the background really loud. I married well.
Married well.
Yeah. He's also not upset with me for not getting anything done around the house today, so that's good.
Oh, we almost forgot. Holy shit, I almost forgot. INS, dude.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that before we leave. We got 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Right.
Indoor National Series last year, we made an effort as a group of hobbyplexers to go, and you won the 13.5 truck championship. I won 40 plus. The boys did really well, and Andrew won 2-wheel drive, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then podiumed in 4-wheel drive. This year was pretty good. So, see if I can find it real fast. I almost forgot. Thank you in the comments because they deserve their shout outs. I doubt we'll see Andrew Thomas run independent ever again.
Oh yeah.
And if
He,
if somebody hasn't claimed him, like seriously, like they're stupid.
oh yeah.
So Andrew Thomas, Daniel Bender didn't go to the finals last year. Went this year, but Daniel Bender, the boys, the only one of the boys that didn't go was TJ. So Dalton, Andrew, and Daniel. Dalton ended up winning the race in 4-wheel drive. Andrew was second. They actually had a pretty epic battle between themselves at the very end. It was pretty fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew ended up winning the championship, and Dalton got second in 4-wheel. And then in 2-wheel drive, Andrew got the TQ and win, and Dalton came from like mid-pack and ended up second.
Nice.
And then in the championship, Andrew got the win, and Dalton ended up 4th overall. And then Dalton also ended up 4th overall in the short course championship. And then in the overall championship, so Daniel Bender, because he got Associated sponsorship last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Associated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't want to screw that one up. So he raced all the expert classes, and pretty sure in 2-wheel he ended up 5th. In I think in stadium truck, I think he ended up 8th, and then it doesn't matter. Stadium truck and 4-wheel, he ended up 8th.
Nice.
In the
That's still
expert.
pretty good.
Yeah, he did really good. I mean, he was on the cusp of making the A main at this race too. Like he was right
Mhm.
there. So that's pretty awesome. I think, and then they got couple awesome pictures on the mod J Concepts thing. Like they got the 4 of them together. I feel bad because Ruben King wasn't involved in the picture either, and he's basically one of us. You know,
Right.
But I think for sure, I think these kids are gonna be rock stars for a while. From now on, let's put it that way. And they're gonna be known to be like from the Hobbyplex. Like we finally got. It took a while, but we finally got our own versions of what Des Moines was producing all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's for sure.
so it's pretty
Now
awesome
that
to see
Tom's
them.
back, he can help him get
Yeah,
to that
exactly. Yes,
even more.
100%.
You know, I remember little Thompson putting together his shit backwards and missing stuff, and I'd go to races that he was at, and I took his car down to the plate a few different times to get it nice, or get things squared away on it. And now look at him,
Yeah. Like I said, I knew I was in trouble in the middle of 2016. I knew I would probably never win another Summer Series mod championship after that was over.
Right.
I'm like, well, this run came to an end finally. So. All right, now we should go. I don't want to keep my family here any longer than I need to.
Yeah. Was Gretchen there too?
No, Gretchen had to work today, so
Oh.
she's at home, and Emerson worked after school.
I said it'd been
so.
funny if like Emerson and Gretchen were sitting there waiting to go this whole time.
They did that a couple times, and I mean, obviously they don't want to just sit around and do nothing. So,
is Richard there too?
No, Richard's at home getting rested up.
There you go.
He's got a big week ahead of him. So,
yeah.
Yeah. All right, we better go. Thank you guys for breaking in here. I think we were up to like 20 something again watching, and this podcast always does really well on YouTube after we're done. It gets watched during the week, so appreciate you tuning in. Become a Patreon member if you want to, and renew it because basically we're paying for this out of our out of that fundage. So got to get that done, and eventually one day, maybe we'll be able to actually pay Will for his time.
That was nice when it was happening.
Yeah, it was nice when we had sponsors and all the Patreon money just went to both of us, but now it doesn't. It goes to once a month for this thing. So
Yep. So if you want to hear more of this,
yeah, hint, hint.
You know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, Peter Renault, I sent your package to your house today. If you're watching, thanks.
There
He
you
just
go.
gave us a super chat, and I just wanted to say that I finally remembered to send your package out to you.
Yeah, this is going to be our last episode before Christmas.
It is. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll figure out when we're going to be back here on January.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it after Chili Bowl or before Chili Bowl?
We could do both. I don't know. We could do an all Chili Bowl episode if there's even that much to talk about.
Right.
We'll see what happens. I'm still kind of worried.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You think?
Yeah, you're gonna be just fine.
I'm gonna be calling you probably.
That's fine. I'm good for pep talks.
Yeah. I'll be like, Alex, I don't know how much droop I should run right now. And you're like, I don't know either. Just go drive it. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. I'm gonna be like, what do I do? And you're gonna be like, I don't know. It's like the exact opposite of you with the world.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Boy,
for
what
those
a
that don't,
conundrum.
I know we've been saying we're going to leave, but for those that don't know, I called Will probably 4 times at Worlds, especially on the 2-wheel drive days, just trying to find something to help me do better.
Yeah.
So
your car got better most of the
time.
Car
got better. Yeah, it really did. No doubt about that. All right, we're going to go for real.
Yeah. Just one more thing. No, I'm just kidding. Like Columbo.
Yeah. One more thing.